Hello everyone, this is Shannon from That's So Po, and welcome to week 25 of my 2019 reads. This week I managed to read 2 queer books, which made me very pleased. The first book that I finished was When the Moon Was Ours by Anna-Marie McLemore. This book had absolutely beautiful writing. I'd heard good things about Anna-Marie McLemore before, but wow, I loved her prose. It was so poetic, so lyrical, and just so much imagery was just woven throughout every sentence that it really had that dark fairy tale feel to the writing that I absolutely love. The world building itself was also so great. This is a magical realism story and it takes place in the modern day, but it has brujas and it has sort of love potions and all sorts of other things that are very well accepted and known. The main female character in this has roses which grow out of her wrists. And this is a thing that is known. I mean, everybody in the school knows it, everybody in the town knows it. So magic is very integrated into this world, but it's not always safe and nice magic. Sometimes it's very dark, sometimes it's very painful. And in fact, the main character, she really struggles because she has kind of a painful past. She lost her family in a tragedy and she's dealing with a lot of PTSD. So a lot of the book focuses on how that affects her, how it affects her choices, how it affects the way that she interacts with people and if she can open up. The other main character, who is her childhood sweetheart, is the boy next door. And he is a trans boy, which she knows, and you know, her close relatives know, but most people in the town don't know. And that storyline of being a trans boy and what that means to kind of be in one way very, very masculine and male and know who you are, but in another way be very afraid that other people will find out how you were born and judge you based on that. That was a very interesting exploration. And reading the afterword by Anna-Marie McLemore, it seems that this story is actually a little bit autobiographical in that Anna-Marie McLemore's husband is a trans man, and I think that they were together from a younger age, and she also is Mexican American and has a lot of that kind of you know, exploration and knowledge of brujas and magic and things like that. So this story, I thought, did a really fascinating job of dealing with those themes of what it's like for a trans boy to grow up and be accepted by those around him, and kind of for somebody to be in love with that, and also trying to make sure that you respect the boundaries while also being able to have an open relationship where you communicate clearly and understand each other. So all of those aspects of the book I really loved, but I did find that about halfway through the book, the plot took a little bit of a melodramatic turn, and a lot of what happened in the second half of the book focused on miscommunication, misunderstandings, overreactions, and it was driven very heavily by these strong emotions and strong reactions that were a little bit too much for me. So that part was not so much my taste, but I thought that the beauty of the writing, the fantastic world building, and the great representation of these PTSD and trans experiences made this book really worthwhile. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The second book I finished this week was The Prince and the Dressmaker by Wang, and I love this book. It was so sweet and so beautiful. It's a graphic novel, and it is illustrated and written by Wang in just such a beautiful way. I loved the artwork in this. The premise of the story is that there is a dressmaker who is sort of a lowly seamstress, but she has grand ideas. She loves high fashion. She has all of these creative, imaginative dress designs. And she ends up meeting this prince. And this is, it takes place probably around the turn of the century in Paris. Turn of the 19th to 20th century. And the fashion is so fantastic throughout all of this because of just the beautiful historical designs, as well as some of the more modern, almost high fashion haute couture type of designs that get mixed in. So the dressmaker meets a prince. And this prince has a secret, and his secret is that he loves fashion too, and he is so desirous of cross-dressing, and cross-dressing in a way that makes him feel like he expresses who he is on the inside. And so he contracts this dressmaker to work for him and create all of these amazing designs, and he goes out wearing a wig and all of these beautiful, gorgeous dresses, and sort of lives up the Paris nightlife. And this is just absolutely gorgeous and wonderful, but he also struggles because he has a lot of responsibilities as the prince, and he doesn't want to disappoint his parents, and he doesn't feel like he can come out with this secret and let them know what's going on. He feels very obligated to keep who he is hidden, and so that conflict kind of comes up. So I thought that the story in this was very sweet, maybe a little predictable at times, but just so sweet and such a great representation of love of fashion and desire to kind of dress the way that you feel on the inside. I loved that. I loved the art style. It was very sweet and cute and pretty at the same time. It had sometimes a little bit of sketchiness, like just a little bit of rawness to the art style, and excellent colors and movement. So everything about this really, really worked for me. I highly recommend it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So that wraps up week 25 for me. If you guys have read either of these stories, please let me know in the comments below what you thought of them. I am so surprised that it's almost the end of June. I don't know how we got here. I thought May was busy and I didn't get much reading done, but I've now looked at my schedule for June and realized that I haven't gotten hardly any reading done. So here's me hoping that week 26 I will read quite a few more books, because there's so many other books on my TBR for June that I desperately want to read. Best of luck to everybody else who's trying to catch up and get where they want to get in their reading goals for this year too.